beautiful people, beautiful people. Good morning to you. It is hump day. Welcome to the EM3 experience, Rewired Mindset. I'm your boy EM3, and we've got a nice midweek check-in lined up for you today. I can't wait to get into the content. But before we do that, I want to first say thank you to all of you that are subscribers. This is an exclusive for you. I want to make sure that I'm spreading this content out there to everyone. So your call to action to get things started off is to each one, reach one. Please go out and tell somebody about the EM3 Experience Influence Circle exclusive midweek check-in. All right, this is your Hump Day Live. Let's jump into our content for today so we can get this thing going. All right, so listen, today is the midpoint, right? Every Wednesday is we kind of govern that as the halfway through what is designed by higher powers in this land to be the work week, right? So this midway point of Wednesday, better known as Hump Day, is the point where we actually need to kind of pause for a second, not pause and stop in what we're doing because we want to continue our momentum throughout the rest of the week. But really what we want to do is this is when pressure kind of creeps in for the week. This is kind of like the heavy lift of the week, right? And so the best thing for us to do in times like this is to just pause for a second. Let's regroup. Let's do a checkup from the neck up. Let's do a check-in from the chest in, right? Where are we right now? So let's get into it. We want to look at old patterns. We want to take a look and reclaim territory that things that are trying to creep back in, bad habits and all those kind of things. So let's stop real quick, all right? Because we're not going to do that today. Not today. Today, we're stepping deeper into the world of this week's topic, which is mental engineering. Okay, how do we structure our thinking? How do we structure our thought process? How do we structure our emotions? Reinforcing an emotional structure, right? That is very important for our mindset. It keeps our mindset stable. It keeps our mindset steady. It keeps us spiritually aligned as well. And so we want to make sure that as we put this information together, we put this content together, that we are focusing on that. All right. So what I want you to do right now is just pause for a second, and I want you to inhale and exhale. Let's level set our mind, and let's take a deep breath before we get in deep into this content. All right, here we go. And exhale. One more time. Let's get a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right, there we go. Feel some peace and calmness just kind of take over you, right? All right, so let's jump into it. Today is about emotional engineering, right? Emotional engineering. I said this to you last week, and I'm going to reiterate it this week. Your emotions are not your enemy. Your emotions are not your enemy. Keep that in mind. What are they then? They are indicators. Your emotions are indicators to you that something is going on. Your emotions are like an antenna. They point inwardly and an antenna pointing out. It's the antenna that's pointing in is looking for my self-talk. What's my beliefs? What's my value system? Okay. The antenna that's pointing outward. What's happening in my environment around me? What's happening in my atmosphere? What's happening in the heavens above me? Right. So you've got this inward antenna, outward antenna, and right in the middle of that is your emotions. Your emotions are really going to kind of be the indicator to let you know something is going on, right? It's an observation post. It's the tattleteller. Hey, 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 look at what's going on inside me. Look at what's going on outside of me, right? So you need to listen to that because your indicator of your emotions is going to tell you where your structure might be weak, where your structure might be strong, where your structure might need healing, where your structure might need reinforcement, when your structure is solid and sound. Okay. So when pressure, for example, when pressure tries to rise, a lot of people then we react. But if we take a pause and let's take a look at and listen to and guidance from our indicators, what are some indications that something is putting me under pressure? How should I react? Is there a value or belief system here that's being violated or valued and appreciated? Those are the questions you start asking yourself as your sensations start emotionally within that structure. So before you start to react, to enhance your emotional intelligence, pause and ask inward and outward questions of what are these indicators that's happening to me right now? Because I'm getting pretty frustrated. But why am I getting frustrated? You know what? I'm feeling super excited. Why was that such an exciting moment for me? What is it that's happening outwardly that aligns with me inwardly that's making me so happy right now, right? That's bringing me so much joy. Maybe it's a child getting married and you're just so ecstatic. Maybe it's a child, I'm about to be a new grandfather here in April. I'm super excited, right? I'm excited for my daughter and her fiance and my family. So there's this value that, man, I really want my family to grow and just be this big, beautiful family. Now, all of a sudden, here's my daughter that is pregnant, and here is the indicator of my happiness. I am happy because this is the indication of my family growth, the love for my child, and all of those things are those type of indicators. That's why I'm happy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I want you to follow that process when it's good, bad, or indifferent. What are the indicators that your emotions are trying to tell you, right? There's an old gospel song that God is trying to tell you something. Well, your emotions are talking too. So your emotions are trying to tell you something. It's trying to receive this information and it's sending you indicators of that something is going on. When you're mentally engineered for purpose, pressure does not break you. When you are mentally engineered and structured for a purpose, what is pressure? Pressure is expected. Pressure is a privilege. What pressure does is reveals who you are. It doesn't determine who you are. It just reveals who you are. All right. Pressure is not the thing to say, I'm going to dictate to you who you're going to be. You dictate to the pressure of what this is about, what's about to happen. You reveal your own self when pressure presents itself. Okay. What it does is it shows what's been built inside of you, what still needs some fortification, what still needs strengthening, and what's working well, what's where you're doing great. It gives you the balance of scales. And what's important is for you that when pressure arises, ask yourself, who am I? Not because of the pressure, not because of the pressure, because the pressure is going to be there, but who am I just in spite of the pressure, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to pause. Here's your framework. Number one, pause. Before you react, I want you to breathe. Okay. So that's in your pause, don't react, just like we did when we started. Level set. So we're going to stop. Number two, I want you to detect. Okay. Detect what? The emotion. Did it just appear out of nowhere? Is it triggering from some trauma? Is there a fear that exists? Is this anger? Is this doubt? Identify and detect what this emotion is. All right. I'm starting to get frustrated. You ever have that when you're in a conversation with somebody? Hey, you know what? I think we need to stop talking about this because I'm getting frustrated. That is a perfect example. That's a perfect. Oh my God, that is so hilarious. That is so funny, right? We're detecting what that emotion is. We're identifying that emotion when we do that. Okay. Then you're going to number three, direct. Choose the response that aligns with life, your values, the life you're living, and the life you're leaving behind. Direct this into the person that you are becoming. Don't allow the past person to creep back in. You have an opportunity to do that when you pause and detect. Now you can direct. And if you miss those first two, well, your direct is just going to be wide open and go in any direction possible. And that's what we don't want to have happen to you. We want this to be a seamless flow so that everything is nice and smooth. Pause, detect, direct. Okay. That is what emotional engineering is. It's not about suppressing, it's about structure. Even before you walk away, pause, detect. And if the direct is to walk away, then walk away. But don't walk away without pausing and detecting. You need to go through that process. If for some reason, let's just say, what happens if I lost my cool before I could pause and direct or and detect? What happens? What do I do then? Okay, all right. Well, toothpaste out the tube now, right? So the best thing to do is retro. Let's reevaluate. What just happened? Let me pause for a second. So I went this way without thinking, without pausing, without identifying and detecting what's happening. So I went sideways. It fell apart. Wheels fell off the bus. But what happened? So let's pause right now and let's take a look at this. And let's go through the process of detecting what happened. You'll slowly get yourself into the practice of pausing and detecting on the front end when you snap judgment, gave direction before you did steps 1 and 2. And then when you get another opportunity, those that know to do better, right? Those that know better do better, right? Dr. Maya Angelou. So snap to judgment, we skip to 3, but let's retro 1 and 2 so we can at least still practice the behavior. Next time the opportunity that comes up, you know better, so do better. All right. So listen, I want you to document. This is your challenge for the week. I want you to document one emotional reaction that you've had that absolutely surprised you. I want you to write it down when it happens. I want you to name it. And then I want you to ask yourself, what belief was sitting behind that emotion? Is there a value that's attached to that? And what was my self-talk? What was the belief? What was the value? What was my self-talk? Ask yourself those questions. Do that exercise this week. That's your challenge. Try to think of when it was. Try to think, maybe it happened already. Maybe it's about to happen in the next couple of days. So I want you to write it down. I want you to name it. And then what was the belief behind it? What was the value impacted? And what was my self-talk? That's engineering. All right. Here's your reflection question for the week. What emotion tries to lead you when pressure hits? And what truth do I need to anchor instead? Is there some lived truth that I need to hold on to? Maybe it's when I'm under pressure, my PTSD kicks in. I need to recognize that as my truth. So what am I going to do about it? You know what? When I get overly happy, I kind of laugh a little bit too loud, right? It's kind of obnoxious. So from now on, when I get happy, I'm gonna maybe do one of these controlled laughs, right? And then I'm gonna bust out laughing later in the car. But whatever that is for you, what I want you to do is what emotions try to lead me? Happiness, joy, peace, frustration, anger, sadness. What's leading me when pressure hits? And what truth do I need to anchor on to? Your affirmation. I want you to repeat this with power after me. I am calm. I am centered and I am courageous under pressure. Say that with me again. I am calm, centered, courageous under pressure. Last time, put it in the chat, write it down, make it plain. I am calm, centered, courageous under pressure. My emotions serve me, not deter me. My emotions serve me and not deter me. Say it one more time. Write it down. Make it plain. My emotions serve me, not deter me. My spirit leads me and guides me. My spirit leads me and guides me. Write it down. Make it plain. My spirit leads me and guides me. I am built for this. In full confidence, say it with your chest. I am built for this. Write it down. Make it plain. I am built for this. People, that is your rewired mindset. I got to give you a call to action before you take off. Here's your call to action. We want to go deeper. We want these devotions to impact. We want the daily portions to impact. We want the challenges to internally rewire other people. So I want you to go out and please help spread the word about this, the EM3 Influence Circle. Invite somebody back with you. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to subscribe to this circle because it's not just a subscription. It's an alignment vertically and horizontally, right? Beautiful people, keep in mind, the work is human and the growth is divine. I'm your boy EM3. This is your EM3 Experience Rewired Mindset Hump Day Live Check-in. Peace, love, and light.